Hello everyone and welcome to our channel. We are here tonight with our new guest, Kathryn Davis, who plays Olivia on the brand new Hallmark movie, Welcome to Valentine. Welcome and thank you for being here today.
Oh, thank you very much for having me. It's lovely to be back and reconnecting with you on a Valentine's movie this time instead of Christmas, which is when we last spoke.
Okay, and let's begin. What's the main element in Olivia's character and the movie in general that fascinates you the most and drew you to join Welcome to Valentine?
Yeah, so some of there's a few things within her character as a whole that really drew me into the script. I really enjoyed her resilience throughout the script. She's so determined to pursue her passions and her career as an artist. And despite constant setbacks and struggles that you'll see throughout the film, and she's on the verge, she's on the cusp of giving up on her dreams, she still just has enough strength to hang in there. So I really admired that about her in the script. I also liked that alongside the parallel of a budding romance that you see between Olivia and George, there's also the story of Olivia's path to finding herself and her inspiration. So for her, returning home equated finding herself and her identity and her uniqueness again within the art world, within her career as an artist. She does say through in the movie that she feels that she's not edgy enough, she's not unique enough. And I feel that when she reconnects with her strong hometown roots and the warmth that her family and her friends back there emulate, it starts to lead her on the path of what her art is and helps her to find herself again.
Oh. Where are you and Olivia most similar and where most different as human beings?
So in terms of similarities between myself and the character of Olivia, definitely I'm determined. I'm a stubborn little determined person at times alongside Olivia. She wants to be an artist. I'm pursuing my career as an actor, and there's a lot of pressures that both Olivia and myself put upon ourselves in terms of that choice of career and that pursuit of career. We really want to kind of make our hometown folk and family proud, and sometimes we can get to the point of overwhelming ourselves. So I think that we kind of share that. Sometimes as well, there's a quote, seeing the forest through the trees, and sometimes we can forget to celebrate our successes along the way because we have like an ideal of what we want in terms of our career, and when we fall slightly short of that, we forget to look at all of the good things, all of the goodness that happens, and we get kind of wrapped up in like, what haven't I achieved, and other pressures that are coming from the outside, whereas we should just step back and kind of enjoy our success and our journey thus far. Where we're different, I don't know, that we don't really have that many differences, I don't think. I think like we kind of aligned a lot in very many ways. Maybe, I mean, her artistic yield, like I like to sketch, but whether I would have enough courage to put my artwork out into the world, perhaps not. I can do it as an actor, but as an artist in oil form or paint or sketching or anything like that, or sculpture, I wouldn't quite have the nerve to do it. So I think that's where we're different.
Okay. And what's been the biggest challenge for you in portraying Olivia?
Yes, there was a challenge. The director on this is Stefan Brogren, who I've actually worked with before. He was the very first director that I ever worked with on a TV show. And I had a very small role and I had 3 lines. And I remember being a very new actor and showing up on set, and coming from a theater background, you endow importance into everything, every word that you say. You're like, when you're on a stage, you're like, why am I saying it? What is the you know, what is the character trying to portray? What did the writer put into the language? Like Shakespeare, there's so many qualifiers, and then you've got to figure out amongst the beautiful flowery language, what is the thesis, the objective of your character in that moment. And so even with a little role on a TV show playing a waitress working in a diner, I was like, you know, I'm gonna endow so much importance into this work. And then I remember working with him on set, and I just heard him yell like, Kathryn, just throw it away. And for me, I was like, throw it away? And it just means that in terms of TV film, when you put that much importance into it, it becomes a forced performance, and it's therefore less realistic. And I managed it somehow, but I just remember in that moment of struggling. And on this one, when I got reunited 8 years later with Stefan, and it was ironic that we were filming our first day in a diner. And so I was like, we've come almost full circle. I had 3 lines in a diner 8 years ago, and now I'm the lead role in a diner 8 years later with the same director. And I remember him just challenging me with stillness on camera, because you probably tell I'm an animated person. I use my hands a lot. I inherited my dad. He just wanted me to just hold stillness, because he said that there is enough, the camera can pick up enough from my eyes that they know. He's like, I know exactly what you're thinking. I can see it. Just be still, hold that. And there's it's frightening to hold that and to not want to do something, because you feel very vulnerable, and you know that there's a whole amount of 60 to 80 people on a crew and cast all staring at you working and watching you on the lens and in the camera and everything. So he challenged me with that stillness, and to do less, because as a theater actor, again, I endow words. I put a lot of importance into the work, and to do less is more, because the camera picks up everything. Not to say not do the homework, of course, but just to be there.
Yeah.
It seems a little bit cryptic in how I'm describing it, but it was a challenge that he put to me on this, and I'm forever grateful, because I found a new wing in terms of performance and everything, I think, in this one.
Yeah, I know it could be difficult. I know.
For me especially, my hands want to move all over the place.
To all the fans looking forward to watching the movie, how would you describe Welcome to Valentine in just 3 words?
3 words. Okay.
3 words.
I would describe Welcome to Valentine as hometown big love.
Oh, perfect.
I wrapped that up pretty well as well. Hometown big love. Would describe it.
Yeah. What can you tease about Olivia's and George's journey throughout the movie?
Yes. Another thing that's slightly different about the script is that with the formula of these stylings of films is that there's like sometimes initial attraction, and then a little misunderstanding, and then there's along the way the characters make amends, and then the feelings grow, and then there's a big misunderstanding, and then it's the conclusion and the resolution pretty much of the film. This one, there's several moments of that, from when they first meet. Olivia's technically working at the time. She's working as a event server. And so they have this smash meeting. Oh, we're attracted to each other, but she's always pulled slightly to the side. You know, she's there working. She has her own career, her own goal in mind in that moment. And then there's a misunderstanding, and then they make amends, and then there's another misunderstanding, and then they make amends. So it's very much like a wave of storyline between them that goes on throughout the film, of attraction but misunderstanding, and back and forth. So it makes it quite dynamic, the script and the story between them. Okay,
cool. Thank you. Talking about the environment on set, how would you describe your experience while filming Welcome to Valentine? And do you have any fun anecdote to share?
Yeah, oh my gosh, so many stories. I have worked with some members of this crew before. It was filmed in Ottawa, so that's the capital of Canada. It was very, very cold, but I would describe the crew as just being a family unit. They are so supportive. Everyone just opened their arms with love and comfort throughout the production. I had a wonderful makeup and hair team that anything that I wanted, anything I needed, they were there for me. The same among like the whole of the crew in general. They were just so supportive, and I felt really like being at home, because not only are there a lot of pressures on you in terms of, they say that the tone of the movie is set by the lead. And so I always like to have very like supportive sets, opportunities for other people to come in and learn. And that's what it was for me. There was no intimidation. I had worked with the costume designer before. I had worked with a couple of the producers before. So that already was a comfort for me going in. And then from the moment of arrival, it was hugs and, what do you need? And then my parents came to visit me on the set, and they were just welcomed in as well. They just could not be more generous people. And so one department, Shane Boucher, Caitlin Delaney, Casey Boudreau, like, thank you so much for continuing to have had me on that set. And then mixing in the whole of Mar Vista Entertainment, where I've got amazing executive producers that were working with me, and then Hallmark as well. I was just so blessed that we had such a cohesive family unit. We were all there with each other throughout the cold and the laughs, and had a lot of laughter on that set. What would be a behind the scenes fun anecdote? There were so many. We ended up becoming we would have them, we kept saying about it the first day that there would be almost like a parallel sequel to the film that would be like a horror version of the movie. And for some reason, we started this trend of saying it's going to be called Under the Bus. And we just would keep saying that throughout the production. So that would be definitely one thing that I loved. We also had a dance-off video, which I'm going to have to message Cara Duncan, who played my sister in the film. I have to get her for the video, because it was last thing in the day, and the director Stefan had just been singing this particular song all day. It's by City High, and I think it's called What Would You Do? And he kept doing it in a country lilt, but it's an R&B hip hop song. And we just at the end of the day decided to do an impromptu kind of dance, and it was just such silliness. And we just grabbed the director, and he just got in the center. He had no idea it was coming, and we were just ended up doing this whole dance routine. So I'll definitely try and make sure that I drop that online today for the premiere of Welcome to Valentine, so everyone can see how silly we are in general. So that would be one whole stories I would share.
Great. And if you could choose any other character from Welcome to Valentine apart from Olivia that you would have loved to play, which one would it be and why?
Ooh, I did love Olivia, and I think I align a lot with her. A character that I think would be really fun to play at some point in my career, or a character similar to this that I'd like to play at some point was the role of Miss Haki. And you'll see in the film, for those who haven't, she used to run the annual Valentine's Day parade in the hometown of Valentine. And that year when Olivia returns, it's her sister's first time to run it. Her sister's name is Vanessa, played by Cara Duncan. So it's her turn to run it. And Olivia goes home at the right time to actually help her sister out and launch this, what they hope is a very successful parade. And Miss Haki, along the way, continues to kind of show up at different venues, and they interpret her presence as a hindrance, not as a help. And so she's sort of perceived as the nemesis, but she's the misunderstood nemesis. So she has held this position for such a long time that she can't let go of it, and doesn't wants to help, but just doesn't know how to go about offering help the right way. And then the character of Vanessa and Olivia are misinterpreting her presence as being, oh, she's just trying to ruin everything. And so I liked the role of Miss Haki, that she shows up and everyone sort of goes, you know, from the warmth of a diner scene, and you'll see it in the movie where everyone's sort of, you know, jostling and having fun, and then Miss Haki walks in, everyone's sort of silence. Like, there she is, the nemesis, the troublemaker. And so I would like to play that kind of role at some point.
Great. And same question, because we are curious. Did you take anything from set, any prop or piece of costume to remember your experience?
I was given I do like to try and take something from memory. I think I've told you before, I take sometimes little pieces of Christmas
Yes.
decor
Yes.
along the way. So whether it's a piece of holly or something, then I just put it in my tree at Christmas time, and I can remember that's from when I worked on that movie and that's from that film.
Yes.
This one, it had so much fun Valentine's like props, like heart-shaped everything. And they had these wonderful heart-shaped earmuffs in red. And so the costume department gave me a pair. They don't fit my head because I have a huge head, but I do have a pair of red Valentine's Day earmuffs that I tried to put on my dog. He won't have it. He will just knock them off, but I do have that. That would be a little memory from set. And then also a tiny little red heart-shaped ornament, which I put on my Christmas tree this last year. So those are two things.
And could you tell us something about your next project?
Yes, I have a project that's coming out in a couple of months. I'm not entirely sure the date of release yet. I will keep you posted on my social medias and so forth. It's called All Aboard for Love, and the story surrounds Alison Marlowe, played by myself, and she is adventurous and a determined young woman who's about to step away from everything she's always known. So her parents have sold a marina that she's lived in and worked on since she was 10 years old, and she's packing up that, handing over ownership, and ready to go and work on yachts and travel the world and just gain experience and pursue the dreams that she's always had of watching this, you know, instead of staring at the horizon, chasing it. And she then crosses paths with a very handsome stranger called Joel, played by the wonderful Ish Morris, and romance ensues, and the movie surrounds her struggle to whether or not to pursue what she wants to in terms of her passions in life, but also not step away from something, a relationship that's very meaningful and could potentially blossom to something a lot more serious. So that one should be out, I believe, in April, but don't quote me yet because it could well change.
Thank you. Thank you for spoil us. And that's it. Remember that Welcome to Valentine will premiere February 18th, tonight, only on Hallmark channel. Thank you for being with us, Kathryn.
Thank you very much for having me and for asking me to be back on the show and for promoting the movie. I really appreciate it. And I hope everyone that watches it enjoys Welcome to Valentine.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for following us, and bye.